we represent Labar Golf. We're a national golf course construction company, and we focus on new builds, irrigation, construction, renovation, even surveying now all over the country.
Let's maintain that turf today. Get up and brush off the dew on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Cut it and roll that dew on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Set up, they about to come through on that turf today. Turf today. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Get up. Turf today. Let's get out the way. Here comes first play. Let's maintain that turf today.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Turf Today. My name is Adam Kershane, joined as always by my co-host Brian Laurent. And this week we are hanging out with the guys from Labar Golf, and their story is way bigger than just the big screen. We talked to Todd Saganiec and Brian Chapin about how they found their way to the company, the wild projects they've taken on, and what it's like helping shape a golf course fit for a Hollywood sequel. On top of that, they've got some awesome insights into the opportunities at Labar Golf, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear why this could be your next move. Let's dig into this thing. As you guys know, Turf Today is recorded on the Superintendent Network and is brought to you by Toro. Out here on the course, we know a good partner when we see one. Toro's been helping superintendents keep the fairways smooth, greens rolling true, and roughs looking sharp for a century. From sunrise mows to last light touch-ups, Toro's got the horsepower, precision, and reliability to keep your course playing its best. Toro, always solving, always evolving. It's been a couple weeks, eh? Been missing you.
Yeah, no. Hey, you guys have done just fine without me, that's for sure. So it was the Trevor, getting Trevor on was a great surprise and certainly a lot of energy, and loved hearing him back on the show a little bit. So that was a great episode.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. It was an old school episode for sure. But
Yeah,
he's like,
I
I couldn't
loved
do this
it.
full time, but it's great to come back and tell some jokes and just be on here. And we had a lot of messages. Some people were like, it's great to hear from him. Some people were like, why was he in such a good mood? This is so weird. Yeah, it was fun to have him fill in.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you? Just traveling all over the place?
Yeah. Yeah, we had honestly can't even remember. Was at Bandon for the US Women's Am, and was at Caves Valley for the BMW. Currently down in Texas for a couple different projects, and then yesterday took a little sidetrack to a nice little golf course on the Atlantic Ocean in Florida, and then yeah, Dallas National the next 2 days, and then home for a couple days, and then Cypress Point. So
Jeez,
the
nonstop.
the Walker Cup next
Mhm.
week. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be good. The after all the picks have kind of come in for the US team, I guess guys are starting to ramp up for all that.
What'd you think? Well, yeah, you're talking Ryder Cup. So what'd you think of Keegan not picking himself?
So I didn't realize it had been that long since a captain hadn't played. So I
Yeah,
thought it would be kind of cool for a captain to play, and him saying, "Well, this is gonna define me, and this is such a big decision for me." I just felt like, man, bet on yourself. Like, put yourself out there, and put your money where your mouth is. If it doesn't go well, hey, it's on you. But at least you were there to at least
yeah,
do something.
yeah,
But not picking yourself leaves a spot open for another guy, and you're going to be there as the captain, so you allow another player to be there, part of the team, part of the culture, and hopefully help the boys win. But I think they might be in tough with the European team because a lot of those guys have been pretty hot lately. I mean, they got Tommy as the front runner, and some of those other
yeah.
guys with Rory. So I don't know, they might be tough to take on, but it's going to be really good.
Yeah, it should be good. I was kind of surprised he didn't pick himself as well, but just thinking of all of the responsibilities that comes with being a captain, all the media stuff, all the external things that you have to worry about, trying to stay focused and keep your game sharp has got to be difficult. And then just think about like if he's out on the golf course, what's he really thinking about? Is he thinking about his match or is he thinking about the pairings for the next round? So I at the end of the day, I think he made the right decision. Would love to see him because he's one of the hottest Americans out there right now. He's playing
Mhm.
really well, but it's I can't imagine what it would be like to try and stay focused on playing great golf when you've got all the external things going on racing through your head. So it's going to be exciting, man. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So can't wait. Bethpage Black is going to
Oh,
be absolutely rocking. Those New York fans are just going to be loud and proud. It's going to be amazing.
yeah, no, it's a perfect venue for that. And I was just
Yeah,
thinking when you
man.
were talking about that, I guess Tiger never was the captain until he was that year when he was hurt, right? When he wasn't playing. That was the only time he was actually captain.
He's never been Ryder Cup captain. He's been President's Cup captain.
President's Cup captain.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Which is the one that you guys play in up there
That's
in
right. That's
Canada.
the one we're
So
included in. Yeah, exactly.
that's it. That's it.
So Tiger didn't
Yeah.
have an opportunity to be a Ryder Cup captain yet. Is that something that maybe he's just passed up on now completely?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's just, his age. I don't know. I think Keegan was probably more of a makeup because when he didn't get picked for the team in what are we in now? So that would have been 2023 and Netflix did their full
Yeah, it was
swing.
Zach
It was the first
Johnson.
season of yeah. Yeah, and Keegan didn't get that pick and he'd been playing really well and I think the PGA kind of threw him a bone and was like a makeup for him not getting picked and having it be so public that he didn't get picked is,
Yeah, true. That was a big
part of
moment.
that full swing thing. So, um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Tigers, I mean, I think I would assume the PGA has been hopeful that Tiger's just going to make a team, if he's healthy. So, they might think when they're making their selections for captain, he might be healthy and he might have aspirations of playing and trying to make the team. So, I don't know. He's got to be coming up though. I would assume he's going to be a pick here sometime in the very near future. I'm not sure what the venues are coming up, but they'll probably pick a pretty solid venue for him to make his debut as a Ryder Cup captain.
That would be cool. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
More Tiger on TV
that'll
is
be
all we need.
electric. Right? It moves the needle, man. He
Yep.
he doesn't move the needle. What do they say? He doesn't move the needle. He is the needle. I
He
mean,
is the
that's
needle.
it's for our
Yeah.
for our game. He is the needle. There's
Yeah.
no question, man.
And talk about a leader too. Like if you're on that team and he's the guy, he's the coach, he's the captain, like you're going
Yeah.
balls to the wall for that man.
Yeah. Well, and I think Tiger now is going to be a much better leader than he would have been even probably 5 to 10 years ago. Even when he was in his prime, I think he was a little more kind of staying close to the vest. I don't know how much of a team guy he really was. Like, obviously, not being in the locker room, we'll never know. But he's certainly starting to put his personality a little more out there and be a little more jovial. And I think he's ready. I think he's ready. His personality, his life has kind of gone the way it has, and been through all the stuff he has. And I think he's ready now. I think he'll be a great captain at some point.
Yeah, well, that'll be good. So what about
Yeah.
Tommy? Were you excited to see Tommy pull it off finally at the Tour
So pumped.
Championship? Like,
So pumped, right? How about that? Your first win gets you whatever, 20 million or $10 million bonus or something like
huge.
that. I mean, oh my God. That was really cool.
He was in contention for the last 4 weeks. Like he's been
Yeah.
there, and then all the way through the
Yeah.
playoffs, he's been right there. So to see him come out and have a great 4 days and win it all, like really happy for him. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
his
Just
interview, he's
some,
such a beauty too. He's just like, yeah, we did it together, and I wasn't putting too much pressure on myself, and just kept it calm and cool. I loved it.
yeah. I didn't get a chance to watch any interview stuff, but yeah, he's certainly been in contention and he's had some tough losses over the last couple of weeks and months. But yeah, I was really happy to see him pull through. Seems like a great guy, and really happy for Charlie and the team down at East Lake. They had a tough stretch of weather the last couple of weeks leading
Hmm.
into the Tour Championship, and finally got some sunshine on Sunday. Got a great champion and a really cool way to officially end the PGA Tour season.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. The venue looked really, really good on TV from what we saw. I did have some comments from people online about some of the newer greens, right? They're so young. It's such unestablished turf, and with all the rain and everything they've had, we did see some brown on TV on some of those greens, and we had a lot of comments about that. But I think at the end of the day, they played just as well as they wanted them to, and then, the look was just the look, and it was just one of those things. You're not just going to go out and paint it, right? Just for a tournament. Like they're new
No.
greens, so it kind of was what it was. But it seemed like they played really well.
Yeah. I sent Charles and Mike Rollins, our buddy Mike Rollins,
Hmm.
is basically lives down there for 2 weeks, helping the team in the shop get everything ready to go. And yeah, I sent him a text early in the week. I'm like, man, those things look spicy. And he seemed really happy with the way things are. And you never know with TV coverage, right? Because they always put so many different filters and so many adjustments on the cameras. You never know what you're truly looking at. But Charlie seemed really pleased with where the golf course was, considering all the factors that were obviously completely out of their control. But yeah, the golf course, it looked like it played really well, and it's the transformation down there at East Lake the last 2 years, post Andrew Green renovation is just it's got character again, for such a historic venue. Um, to nobody's fault, it just lost all the charm and it's just golf course wise, right? Solely golf course wise. I just think it had lost so much charm. And just to see Andrew and his team come in there and completely transform that place and bring it back to its roots for the most part, with obviously some of Andrew Green's own flair. Just really, really cool to see that place um, show some of its roots again and have a lot more character again, not just oval greens and, rounded bunkers and stuff like that. It's got fingers in the bunkers and you've got corners to greens again and crazy fall offs on the side of the greens and, all the things that, Ross and some of those great golden era architects had put into play. I mean, it's just so cool to see that stuff back.
It's such an iconic tournament to watch. I love
Yeah.
watching the coverage of that and seeing all the shots with the clubhouse and the different
Yeah.
areas of the course. Like it's so well presented. That 18th hole is so iconic too, having to play down and up back to
Well,
the
yeah. Do
clubhouse. It's
you
so cool.
do you remember when the rotation used to be reversed and they had the par three was number 18?
No,
Do you
I
remember
actually
those
don't remember
days?
that because that's
Yeah.
wild finishing with a par three like that, and that's a tough hole too going up that hill.
That is that's a brutal par three. Yeah, it's really really, really good hole. And that was always a unique finishing hole there on a par three. But I love the finish on a par five, eagles in
Mm.
play, can really make a swing there at the end. Really, really neat. And that clubhouse, there's so much cool stuff in there too.
Brian,
Hey,
what's going
Brian.
on?
Nothing, man. Happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Where are you right now?
I am I'm on vacation. I'm at a beach in Delaware right now. So
Oh,
we're
nice.
we're having a good time. Yes. If you hear some screaming in the background, I apologize. We got kids all over the
Trust
house, right?
we're used to it, man. That's
Yeah.
that's normal for us as well. So no worries.
It's all
Hey,
Yeah.
good.
Todd.
Good morning.
Morning. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. Looks like you're joining us from a car.
Yeah, I'm this is my office. This is my mobile office.
I
Got a
love it.
Making it
2-year-old
happen.
truck that's got 170,000 miles on it. So
Oh,
I love it. I saw Oscar yesterday. He was sounds like he's in the same boat. He was getting ready
uh
to drive up to New Jersey and then getting ready to drive out to California again. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
the trucks are your homes these days, huh?
yeah, lucky for Oscar, we try to put him up pretty close to the job and he doesn't have a far commute. So
You get to go see them all.
I get to go see him all. Brian and I have a lot of airline miles.
We do.
oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Appreciate you guys joining us. Get things started here. If you wouldn't mind, just go ahead, take turns there introducing yourselves. Let us know who you are.
My name is Brian Chapin. I'm the senior vice president over our irrigation division. And this is Todd. He's our senior vice president on the renovation side. So together we manage the whole thing. Rich sets them up and we knock them down pretty much. So yeah, try to get high quality work done. Todd's got the big behemoth that he runs. I've got the small little growing portion of our business, but yeah, we stay busy. And like Todd said a second ago, we got a lot of airline miles.
Brian's portion is about to become a behemoth too. It's rapidly growing. So there's a lot going on. I'm Todd Saganiec. I've been with Labar Golf since the start. I've been working with Rich, our owner, since basically my whole adult life, since 1996. So I run the day-to-day operations for the renovation side. And like Brian says, he's all in on everything irrigation, and we're the ones that make it happen.
Big company. You guys have a lot going on, a lot of hands and a lot of different things. So it's really cool that we get to talk to you guys today. We're going to unpack some of that stuff about your jobs and what you guys have done. But one of the things we do on the show is we like to tell the stories about the people. So we'd love for you guys to go back and just tell us about, falling in love with golf and getting into the industry, maybe some of the jobs you've had, working at courses and stuff like that, and just kind of what brought you to Labar Golf.
Like I said, I've basically been working in golf my whole adult life. I went away to college out of high school and didn't really have a plan when I got to college. So I realized I was not really spending money well at college. So I left and needed a job. That was 1996. I knocked on the door. They were building a golf course down the street from my house. And I said, "Who do I see about a job?" And it was Rich Labar right there. So that's how I got in. Rich was kind enough to take me on and take me under his wing. And we just kind of grew from there. He led me down the path of going to Rutgers University for the turf man program. When we got done building golf courses up in North Jersey, I needed an assistant's job, and I went to work at Greenbrook Country Club with Pat Hickey. And then Rich got on with the construction company, and naturally I just went to work for him, and we started our own thing, and that's got me to where I am today.
Talk about hard work and dedication. That's why Todd is loved by so many people. And guys, just for a second here, I want to talk to you about one of our sponsors, Flash Weather AI. This new app has been incredible. I have been showing it off to our different staff throughout the year, both clubhouse and on the course. I've even shown it to some golfers who were reluctant to get off the course when we had some warnings. The amount of information, how quickly they're able to update everything, and how accurate they're able to be with their predictions, it's amazing. Go to your app store, search Flash Weather AI, give the app a try. It could save lives. Now let's get you guys back to Brian Chapin's story.
Yeah, I'm like kind of the typical path first golf course. I grew up on a golf course since I was like 10 years old, right down the street from a public golf course in Maine. That's still kind of like a special place to me. Shout out to Valhalla Golf Club in Cumberland, Maine. And Toby Young, the super there, does a really, really good job. One of my best friends growing up. So just being exposed like that, my first high school job was on a golf course, and I've never looked back. My daughter was asking me the other day what my very first job was. I was a cashier at a grocery store. That lasted about 2 months. And I was like, this is not for me. And went and grabbed a weed whacker and started weed whacking creeks and bunker banks and things at a nice private club in Maine, nearby where I grew up. And I was fortunate that I worked for a guy who had been a really successful superintendent in the Philadelphia area. He had been at Wilmington Country Club at one point. He had been at Rolling Green Golf Club in Springfield, Pennsylvania for a while, and was sort of like, it was like a retirement job at the Maine. And so he and his son kind of showed me the ropes, how to get an internship, that this was like a real career path. Because, like a lot of people, I think probably when I started, I thought I was just doing a summer job that was like, going to pay me $7 an hour. And that was pretty cool.
That wouldn't happen to be the Kroll family, would it?
Yeah, that's the Kroll family. Yeah, you know them. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad worked for Dave at Wilmington Country Club. So
oh, no way.
Yeah. So that was my dad's first job out of college. He and
very
Dave
cool.
stay in touch all the time. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt.
So No, it's all good. Yeah, and Scotty's a good friend. He's not in the business anymore.
Yeah.
And it was actually one of a proud moment of mine was when I got the job at Rolling Green to have Dave come back and like kind of he and I walked around and everything because that was my mentor when I first got in the business. So that was kind of a nice, cool little full circle moment for me. And yeah, uh, but I mean, I think I would just say it was kind of a typical path before that, right? I mean, knew everybody. I think it seems like I kind of just got hooked up with some of the right people who gave me good advice as to how to traverse this landscape because it can be a little tricky. And got a good superintendent's job when I was 26, and then kind of career evolved from there to where I am now with Labar. My first renovation experience was at Paramount, where I was a super, and I kind of fell in love with that side of things. That's where I first met Rich. Uh, and we did a small Capcom project way back when. We actually had, by the way, we had Capcom at Paramount when you still just got it as admixture, and they expected you to mix it in like little cement
Yikes.
mixers by yourself. It was pretty funny.
That was definitely our first Capcom job.
Yeah,
It's like sending you a cake mix, huh?
yeah,
Just go
and
ahead,
like
add water,
nobody was
and
doing
put it
it.
in the oven.
It was yeah, and nobody was doing it back then. It was very funny. It was like we're gonna try this thing. I don't know, let's try whatever. Rich, I remember the first time I told Rich, he's like, I don't know, because nobody was doing it back then. But then we obviously we do quite a bit of it now, so it's proven to be a good product.
You guys live a very unique lifestyle. Just give me a quick rundown of what a normal day, what a normal year is like for you guys. How many projects are you on? How many days are you on the road? What does that look like?
I was counting before we got on the call. I know irrigation, we're on I think 8 different properties right now, and Todd wouldn't surprise me if he's more than that. I'm sure.
Right. I mean, right now we are August is a always a strange time, like transition time for us, and we're only on 9 projects today. But by September 15th, we'll be on 15 projects.
Yeah.
Yikes.
So yeah, I mean, we generally are always on at least 10 to 12 projects on the construction end alone. And then if you add up, Brian's projects, the irrigation projects, we could be on, anywhere from 15 to 20 sites at a time.
That's
And
incredible.
how
How are you
much
guys able to manage that? You have so much going on, so much different equipment, you're in different places. How does that kind of all get taken care of?
I had a lot
We
less
have
gray hair when I started doing it.
it's the managers, it's our guys on the field, the
Yeah,
project superintendents out there. We think they're the best in the business. They are, they give up a lot to make that all happen. So we all, we all look great, but it's really those guys that are doing all the hard work, that are the ones that are living on the road. Todd and I took when we interview people, like we really hammer them with, you think this sounds sexy, like it sounds like it's going to be cool, but like you got to understand this is serious. It's like deployment, right? And we tell them we're going to send you here, and then we're going to send you over there, and then we're going to change our mind. You're going to be over there for 3 months, and we've got this group of people that are just totally like in. They want to build cool golf. They want to grow their careers, and so we're nothing without those guys. I think they deserve all the credit on that end. For us, I mean, we are flying in an airplane a good amount, and we're traveling. I think I've been on 45 flights this year. Todd's probably something similar, and so we're just chasing after it all the time. Try to get everywhere once a month, once every couple weeks, wherever we need to.
I couldn't agree more. I mean, it's our people. And, Brian and I joke all the time. It's like when we interview people, we're trying to talk them out of coming to work for us, you know, and it's the guys that are like, oh no, I'm in, that we know we want. And, we're trying to hire superintendents and assistant superintendents who can talk to our clients, and know what they're talking about and be someone that they could really interact with. And they make our life a lot easier having guys that could talk the talk with these guys and have the experience and the work ethic. I mean, superintendents are crazy, right? I mean, these guys want to work 70 hours a week. It's not a 40-hour a week job. It's not a 5-day a week job. It is a grind. And it's really hard to find people that are willing to do that. And we're always looking, and our growth is so big because of those people that we're able to find. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do it.
I'm glad you brought up the communication side of things, because you don't only have to work with a superintendent on these projects. You're also working with architects. You're working with members and member committees and GMs. How do you guys manage the political side of things, or how do you guys make sure you're aligning everyone's interests for the ultimate vision of the end product?
Again, I mean, it's hiring guys from the business that know how to do it, right? And are able to talk to those guys and just know, how to act, how to dress, how to interact with boards and superintendents. These guys got to be chameleons. Everybody's, personality is different, and you're not going to get along with every guy that you work with, but you have to get along with every guy that you work with, even if you're faking it, right? I mean, you're really, it's important.
I think that, we kind of joke about it a lot internally, but I was a superintendent for 13 or 14 years. So I can say, like, superintendents, we're kind of a different breed. We're a little bit crazy. We want things in a very particular way. We need things, like we'll all get twisted up about things that somebody from outside the business may not understand why that little detail matters, and like the razor thin margins that we're all, I think, working on. And when we have guys from the golf business that come in and run these projects for us, they just speak that language so well, and they understand with why that superintendent, first of all, who's under a lot of pressure, he's got a multi-million-dollar renovation project going on that all rides on his shoulders. It's a lot of stress, so I think it's comforting when you've got people that have been there from that side of the business. So we're typically it's all guys that we hire that are all have been former superintendents or like high level assistant superintendents who've been around for a minute and speak that language really well.
So I wanted to ask just about this hiring process. This is very interesting. There's probably people out there listening right now going, "Oh, geez, I only thought I could be a superintendent. Didn't know there was more past this, doing stuff like this." So do you look for people that are later in their career? Do you look for young and up and comers? Like, what is it? Where do you guys kind of try and pick these people out of?
I would say, for us, we actually work well on both ends of those spectrums. It's people who, and we'll hire anybody, right? And there's a disclaimer here. I mean, I don't want to know what to say, but there's realities to this. I always
If
say,
you have a pulse.
no, that's not what I mean. It's similar to like a private club, right? You've got a lot of guys that are going to be very young before they have a family, that have a lot of time to invest in playing golf every, couple days and on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And then you've got that kind of demographic from 35 to 50 that we don't get a lot of new people coming in at that age. And then you get a lot of people on the other end of their career who maybe who want to go live on the road, who don't mind being traveling. It's that's the hardest part, is having a family with what we do. It can be tough. I mean, like some families it works great. There's families of all shapes and sizes, right? I mean, for some people it works very well, but for a lot of people that can be a major barrier for entry. So young guys that are kind of established as good assistant supers that kind of understand some process and understand high-end expectations. And then guys later in their career who've kind of seen it all, done it all, they're looking for a little bit different challenge. We see a lot of both of those. For us, I think we typically are looking for people that have that kind of it factor, the drive, that want to make things really excel. And if you're not self-motivated to want things to be, that next level excellence, you're probably not going to be a great fit for us. But if you're the type of person that is looking to excel at every level, and you're internally driven for that, then you probably do really well with us.
The hard part is our job isn't really regional, so we can't hire guys just to work in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut. We already have those guys. That's where we're from. We've got some older guys that don't do a lot of travel, but the people Brian and I are hiring, it's work on the road, right? And so they want to do their construction in Florida in the summer and then play golf the rest of the year. So we're working in the heat in the summer. Same thing out in like the desert in California. You know, we're working in 110-degree heat when people aren't playing golf. So our guys have to move a lot, so it makes it a little bit more difficult. It'd be easier if we just had regional work all the time, but it's just not reality.
So I was joking with Oscar yesterday. I don't even know why he has a place. Like you're on the road
Yeah.
6 months at this project, 6 months at that project.
He goes there to do his taxes.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
That's good. So you kind of mentioned, the high end and the detail oriented stuff, and that kind of transitions into one of the questions I wanted to ask is, I've seen you guys, I've run into your crews at some very high profile jobs. Why do you think these top tier high end places choose Labar Golf?
Well, that's our calling card, is our quality of work. We've got very low turnover in employees, and we've got the same people that have been doing really high quality work for a long time. And we do it fast. Our guys get in there, they do it right, they do it fast, they don't cut corners, and we just do it really well. That's our calling card.
And the grass work, especially, right? We like to think that we're the best grass work company in the country. Nobody does it better than Labar Golf. That's a testament to the teams that Todd's built and over the years. And we try to sell the irrigation company that way. It's like that same level of attention to detail. And it's been good. It's been good to, my guys have to keep up, and they got to learn how to do grass work the way that the LGR guys do, because there's a really perfect example sitting right next to you of how we want this done. And so it's just the level of detail, I think, and speed, like Todd said. And I think that, like I said, I think the grass work goes a long way. And it's one of those things, right? The golf business, you kind of get rolling, you get a little bit of a reputation, and the next place calls and the next place calls, and there's a green chairman here and a president of the club over there, and there's a superintendent whose assistant moves on to a great club. So we look at it as every project is the same level of detail, whether we're at Muirfield or Colonial or probably the club where you were when you saw Oscar. I won't name it, but
that's what I told Adam. I told Adam earlier. I said a really nice golf course on the Atlantic Ocean in Florida. That's it.
You can call it Seminole. You can call it Seminole. But we're gonna say that.
But like, so we're at those places, but then we're also at small clubs just local to New Jersey that happen to be friends of Todd or me or Rich, who we've known for a long time, that need some help. And even at some of those smaller clubs, you're going to get the same level of attention to detail. And I think that just grows. There's no D team, right? You hear of this in the golf construction world, that there's like, oh, you got to make sure you get their A team or any of that stuff. We don't do that. We really push to have everybody kind of equally detailed and strong.
A lot of it's a testament to our managers too. I don't want to discount that. Our guys are out there doing a really good job running these crews and training our crews to do, the work up to our expectation. We've got customers all over the country that say, oh, I have to have Oscar. Or I have to have Chris Wallach. Jack Nicklaus, he doesn't want to do a job with Labar Golf without Chris Wallach. He did Bears Club, he did Muirfield with them, and they love Chris Wallach. But we've got other guys, new guys, that are already being asked for the same way. And it's really just the process of getting these guys up to speed and learning the way we do things. And it sets us apart, our management. It really does.
Yeah, you guys are certainly one of the leaders in our industry for everything you guys do. And I'd love to dig into some of these projects. I don't know if you guys want to go back to maybe some of your first that you did and just tell us about some of the memories. I know, Brian, you were at the Paramount Country Club when you did your first one. So maybe just tell us some stories and some memories about some of the renovations you guys have done. I know it's a lot, but if there's some ones that stick out to you guys.
So I mean, I've been with the company for like 3 years now. So Todd's probably the best suited to talk about some of the older projects. Um, I'll let him lead, and then I can fill in some color on some of the more recent things that have been a good time.
A lot of good projects. I mean, we just mentioned Seminole, great project that we're finishing up right now. Oscar should be leaving today. First phase of that went really well. A nice restoration with Gil Hanse.
I've
Um,
never seen such a big pile of sand in my entire life as I saw on that front nine. And I
um,
heard you guys needed more.
yeah.
Oh man.
But I mean, we've got great customers. You know, Wingfoot. It was one of our very first customers working with Steve Rabideau, and it's one of our proudest jobs we've ever been involved with, and we continue to be involved with Wingfoot, doing the work there on both courses with Gil Hanse and building their practice areas and just continuing to make that place better. Get to work with John Jennings at Shinnecock, doing some practice areas and U.S. Open prep. Um, what else? The restoration at Marion with Gil Hanse, great project, and Paul Latshaw. Um, Bears Club, rebuilding Bears Club with Jack Nicklaus and rebuilding Muirfield with Jack Nicklaus. All these are really great, exciting projects. Oak Hill with Andrew Green. And then there's young guys that we're working with like Jaeger Kovic right now at Patterson Club. That, I mean, they're just really exciting, fun projects. We like to work on exciting, fun projects with good people.
Good
You know,
people.
that's
That's the big
that's
one.
it's really important to us. If we find people that just aren't enjoyable to work with, we'll move on. It's more about working with good people and on good projects than it is anything else.
For me, the most fun thing we've done so far was the new build at Pinehurst on course 10. When you asked about renovation work, but that's to
Yeah.
me is kind of
It's
the
sort of a renovation. It used to be the pit, so it's sort of a,
well, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
We did course 4 too, which was a renovation. At Pinehurst
Yeah,
is one of our best customers also.
yeah.
we love those guys. They're great to work
Kevin
with.
Robinson and Bob and everybody down there is just, I mean, it's one of our happy places to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Um, that was my first experience getting to see a golf course start from scratch, though, and I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, we were lucky to be out there walking around when it had just been cleared and there were fires everywhere, burning all the roots and debris and everything, and um, it was really cool. And to see it, I think one of the cool things is just seeing the eighth hole and like what that started out as and what it finished as and hearing all the conversation. I mean, it's if anybody's not familiar with it, I mean, it's like you hit over this Matterhorn onto this massive like humpback thing in the fairway, and it's just like the craziest, like you're playing golf on the moon. Um, and It was cool to watch that whole thing kind of evolve and watch the design process on that. Just listen to everybody chatter about it on the team and for 6 months or whatever it was. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun to see the vision of these really talented architects, to be able to execute their vision and bring it to life is super exciting. What Tom Doak and Angela did at Pinehurst was pretty awesome. You know, really good projects to be involved with.
Yeah.
You guys mentioned all the different projects that you're on right now. I mean, personally, I haven't seen the industry as healthy and as busy probably since the 90s when they were just building golf courses left and right. What's your take on where the industry is and what do you kind of see for the future of golf?
I mean, we think the future looks bright. The uh, the the golf business is in a really healthy place. Timing is interesting because, to your point, you have this massive golf boom that happened in the late '90s, and all those places need to be renovated now. You're 25 years later, coming on 30 years later. So you're talking about new irrigation systems all over the place. You're talking about bunker work and tee work and rebuilding USGA greens, all kind of on schedule now. So, we're certainly continuing to look at ways to grow and scale, effectively. bring on more really good people. We think this is going to continue. We'll continue at the same pace, maybe not over the years, but I think that um, we try to do work at such a high level that to us we think that work is always going to be there. So yeah, I think future looks bright. I think we're going to be in for many more years of solid renovation work. I mean, and Todd knows better than anybody. I think right now we're already engaging clients out to 2029. So I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there is a lot going on, and especially with some of the new like we're starting our own survey company. We'll go and do survey work for golf courses. A lot of what we do is with total stations, robotic total stations, where we could take a green existing, like an old push-up green, scan it and put it back perfect to what was there. Just to enhance what superintendents can do on golf courses, and give them more control over what they're able to do.
Well, you guys have a lot going on, and being involved in some of those big projects is really cool. And we always hear from different superintendents and people that come on the show that the industry is in a good place, and we're going to see more golf courses pop up and more good work like this done. One of the big things we wanted to talk about today, a few weeks ago, we mentioned on the show there was some talk about Happy Gilmore 2, and Labar Golf had been mentioned, and we were hoping that we could get to talk to you guys a little bit about that process. We were excited to hear that you guys were involved, so we just love to hear kind of how it all got started and what the process was like, and anything fun that happened with the whole movie, I guess.
Talked about my gray hair at the beginning of the project of the interview. Luckily
That's when it
luckily
started
for
working
Brian,
into the beard, huh?
yeah, luckily for Brian, he didn't have to do much for Happy Gilmore.
No
Being involved
irrigation.
with yeah, for irrigation at least. But being involved with it was really cool, right? I mean, something cool to be involved with. Could they have found a better time of year for me personally to figure out how to do it? I mean, we've got 16, 17 jobs going on, and all of a sudden they need us running from job to from spot to spot to spot at the drop of a hat. They're used to working you know, in a lot, where they just grab what they need out of a trailer and shoot a movie. Well, it doesn't really work that way on a golf course. They needed to build stuff, and their timelines were really tight. Um, and we had so much going on that getting around to those jobs wasn't easy. I had to pretty much devote one of our really talented crews to getting it done. But that being said, I watched the movie. I was able to see a lot of the stuff that we did on there, and it was exciting.
It's one of those things that it was just cool. I mean, we've talked about it a lot. People know us for all the PGA Tour golf courses that we get to build, and places that are very buttoned up and serious, and like all these like highly exclusive, very very high profile places. But then to kind of go be involved in something like this, I wasn't directly involved, but it was super cool to watch and hear the stories from the guys about building a ramp for a golf cart or the tilt-a-green thing at the end, and all that. So that is cool. I think it was fun. It was a little change up, right? Even though Todd has more gray hairs, like he said, it was entertaining for me to watch Todd run around and try to figure all that out. I can tell you that.
Appreciate that.
So did they just reach out to you guys and say, "Hey, this is what we're up to. Can you help us?"
I think it was. I mean, they reached out to us, and I think it was through a consultant that a lot of our golf courses work with. He might have had some involvement in getting Rich involved, but they came to us, knowing that a lot of what they were doing was local to New Jersey and New York, and we were there.
So I think, I was reading an article. A lot of people will look at that movie and think a lot of those scenes and the things on the golf courses are CGI or AI or something, but that stuff was
None of
all
it.
real, huh? The ice and the tilting green and all that kind of stuff. You guys built all that, huh?
Yeah, I mean the tilting green, we were involved with doing a lot of the work around there. Certainly the ice hole we blew up a whole tee complex so they could actually build the ice onto the tee and the green surface. So all of that was real. I mean, they brought in trucks and made snow and made ice. All that was very real.
That's crazy. I thought that was all CGI until you got really close with the guys. I thought that was all CGI. That's incredible.
Nope, it was all real.
What was the most challenging part or the most challenging project that you guys took on for that? Was it the tilting, rotating green?
Yeah, the tilting rotating green was probably one of the more difficult things. Their timeline for that was pretty quick. We were working around other companies because I mean, you don't realize that tilting green actually tilts and spins, and there's a 12-foot deep hole underneath that thing that's got hydraulics and shoring so it doesn't collapse. I mean, what was involved with that is pretty incredible. I
That
got
must
some
have been
great pictures.
that
Yeah,
conversation to say, "Hey, we want to build this green. You think you could do this?" You're probably looking at those guys like, "Are you kidding me?"
yeah.
Did you guys reach out to Tanner down at TGL and pick his brain a little bit about how he's got the rotating green in
Should
that
Yeah, I
have.
mean
property?
that was all them. I mean they did that all of that work in house. That's not something I like to say that we like to stick to what we're good at, and that's grass and dirt. All that other stuff is for other people to worry about.
I wonder what they did with it. Set it up for a 19th hole somewhere at a course. Be fun.
They,
Probably like dangerous
everything
though.
got ripped out. I mean, everything got ripped out and put back together.
Yeah. Lots of movie
Yeah,
set, right?
so yeah, I mean, along those lines, you guys worked on actual golf courses. I mean, they were
Yeah,
what? I think I saw Fiddler's Elbow and three others
yeah. The
in the
majority of
Jersey
our
area.
work is at Fiddler's Elbow. Um,
Okay.
there are a couple other small things. Um, the scene where they're on the public golf course was Rockley Golf Club up in North Jersey, or is that might even be New York? I don't know. No, it's a Bergen County course.
I think
Um,
it's in North Jersey.
but yeah, I mean, we went and built a bunker into the side of a hill that wasn't there, and they really launched the golf cart off of it. So
Wow. Got some height on that.
it was. I wouldn't have done it. I'll tell you that.
They didn't ask you to be a stuntman for the movie either?
I felt like a stuntman just being involved.
So,
That's
Todd, this one's a little bit more for you. I know you've met some guys like Tiger and Jack and stuff doing the renovations. What about with the movie? Did you get to meet any stars or anybody famous?
No, so my son's in he goes to high school for film actually in South Jersey. They were nice enough to let us come one day to watch them shoot, but we just watched from afar. I saw Adam Sandler there shaking Will Salvatore's. I was there shooting that scene. So, and
Awesome.
Justin Thomas, I saw them shoot that whole scene, which was really cool to be able to be there and have my son be able to see that.
Yeah, it's special.
that's awesome. So, you guys do all these things at the courses and then you've got to put them back. I mean, it's almost like a tournament, and taking down all the stands and all that and giving the members their course back. I mean, what was the process of giving the members their courses back?
I mean, that's the easy part for us is just putting, we're really good at blowing stuff up and putting it back together, you know. So that part of it is just work, and luckily there's a little bit more flexibility as, in timeline going and putting stuff back together than, meeting their deadlines for filming.
So for each of you then, we didn't do a lightning round today, but I'd love to ask you guys just about the movie. Is there something that you saw or scene in the movie you guys saw where you're like, we killed that? Like that looks so much better than I thought it was gonna look, or like something you're very proud of.
Definitely the flying golf cart. I mean, that was cool.
Yeah.
To see that thing launching through the air over the bunker, it was cool.
I wasn't involved, so I didn't get to see any of it. But I will say my favorite part of the movie was I love that they linked Will Zalatoris back to the caddy that he was choking out in the
So
first.
good.
I mean, it was like just
So good.
perfect. I
Yeah.
couldn't believe it. That was great.
He's
Yeah,
just looking at him from behind the locker, like
awesome. So well done. Yeah, great
That
cameo.
was that was great.
You guys talked about the ice hole. I thought when we were building that, I was like, how is this even going to work? But it actually looked really cool. So I thought that was really interesting how they pulled that off.
Did you guys obviously created this vision, I mean, when they came to you with some of these ideas, what's your initial reaction when they say we want to build an ice hole or a rotating green or a bunker surrounded by planks or whatever it is?
I got to be honest with you. My reaction was, how fast can I get this done and get the hell out of there? Was really the gist of my thinking for Happy Gilmore.
That's awesome.
We are back. Actually, no, he's not here. Unfortunately, I know. I'm sad too. We missed out on him this week, but we have him for next week. Dr. Tony Goldsby from the Andersons will be back with more of your Ask the Agronomist questions. There have been some awesome ones coming in, some fun ones, and some challenging ones I've been hearing from Tony. So we are excited to get him back on here next week. I wanted to take this time to mention September 9th. Folks, next week is Thank a Superintendent Day, which is a big day in our industry for the people that don't always recognize superintendents. You know us, we're on board every day, 365 days a year. Every day is Thank a Super Day here. But for everybody else, September 9th is when we're celebrating. And this year, just like last year, Thank a Superintendent Day is sponsored by the Andersons. So send in pictures or videos of your superintendent. Send them to us. Let us know their name, some of the things they like to do on the course, whatever it may be. And we're going to try and put it all out. We're going to try and feature as many people as we can. We want to try and spread the love and be able to thank as many people that day. So it's presented by the Andersons, and it's going to be a fun day. So send us your content, and let's get you back to the show.
You talked earlier, Todd, about some of the survey work and the lasers and grading and all that. How much is technology changing the game for you guys and what you guys do?
Really, for us, especially building greens, it makes it a lot easier than, I mean, when we started this, we were probing greens with, metal welded sticks, trying to figure out depths. I mean, it makes everything a lot more precise. And, easier to keep up with quantities and stay on budgets and stuff, just being able to put back exactly what's expected to be there. Brian's got a lot of involvement in the survey. He could probably speak more to that portion of what we're doing with that, but generally from the construction aspect, that's being able to shoot grades and GPS and give guys as-built really easy. It's come a long way.
We started the survey company to make sure that we're going to always be the leaders in technology in our industry. And we just actually have hired a really excellent woman named Kara O'Neill, who's coming to be our technology and GIS leader. And we think she's going to do a really great job to help us continue to position ourselves as the top tier in all the technology. And then the survey company itself is just sort of a natural extension to the work that we're already doing. We're out here collecting all this data all the time. All of our guys carry GPS data collectors. It's all linked to the cloud. We have a team in the Minnesota office, Todd, that is processing that data and making sure we can flip it around really, really fast. And so we think that by opening the survey division, we can kind of offer our clients, we're hoping, a little bit better way of dealing with their data. We call it like a digital asset catalog. I don't want to geek out too much here, but kind of my vision here, the thing I've been thinking about, we talk a lot about, is like, we're out here collecting data at like 1 inch accuracy, half an inch accuracy. And so we can tell you, like, your pipe is right there, not there, right there, that sort of thing. But then we go hang a map on the wall and we go, all right, see ya, and it's like, so the drain line's out there, but you don't have any way of finding it. And now, I mean, how many maintenance shops have you been into where you have this like old as-built on the wall, right? And there's like magic marker and Sharpie that's marked it all up. Or even now you see guys with like, they're printing their map on an as-built, like on the whiteboard or whatever, and trying to mark it up that way. So we're really focused right now on trying to develop a digital platform that'll allow our clients, after we do these major renovations, to kind of maintain that data, stay in touch with us, and so we can continue to partner with them to keep all their records up to date, and then give them the ability to go out in the field, locate things with real precision. We think that's a kind of a game changer. So
Trying to
yeah,
get away from the
exciting.
days of going with pin flags that
Yeah.
shoot both ways to show where a drain line is or an irrigation line
Right.
is.
Brian, you're also, I mean, with the changes in irrigation technology, I mean, you're also having to keep up with, again, all that new technology when it comes to irrigation systems. So how much due diligence do you have to do to kind of keep up with the times of evolving irrigation?
I mean, that, to be honest with you, that part to me is a little bit more straightforward. I think that the, I think like on the renovation side, we typically are like, here's the spec, so it's pretty clear we need to learn about these specific things. And we do our best to keep up with technology everywhere, obviously. But I think that um, the irrigation industry, to me, there's new ideas all the time about how to do things, and obviously HDPE pipe and fusion technology has been like a complete game changer. We are rarely putting any sort of PVC in. um, I think people are kind of scared of that technology a little bit, and they're still a little bit nervous about having HDPE pipe on their property. I hear a lot of guys like, I don't know if I'd know how to fix it, or how do I repair it. There's a lot of options for that too, and I think it's once you learn the process, it's actually pretty straightforward. And the barrier to entry, I guess, like the machines that you need to be able to deal with normal repairs on your golf course are pretty minimal. So uh, yeah, I mean, technology is always growing and changing. Is something we have to adapt to. We're trying to do our best to embrace that all over.
There's such a shift in our industry right now, technology being the way it is, and the way people learn, the way people interact with each other. The one thing that kind of scares me a little bit is, the culture. We work so hard together. It's all about the team. We push each other, and now the technology is taking over. Are we going to lose some of that? I wonder with a company like yours and what you guys do, how you kind of keep driving that culture into everybody to kind of keep pushing the wheel the same way.
I think that's what Todd and I probably focus on the most, is continuing to drive the culture of our company and make sure that it starts right from the beginning with the selection process. As we interview people, we're looking for, like we talked about before, people who have that kind of internal drive for excellence. Um, and we trust our guys to do excellent work. So I think technology for us, we're seeing it be more of a better way to keep in touch, right? We can watch our guys build golf courses in the cloud because they're collecting all this data. We know exactly where they are. We know, um, we understand our cost structures, so we can keep tabs on budgets and all that. And I actually think it's actually allowing us to stay in better contact with the people in the field. It's a good way they can actually kind of report their daily reality to us, a little bit easier. So I think like everything, um, technology for the most part has been a net way positive for us. And I think it's actually helping us build better culture and stay in constant communication with everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, the communication, I mean, 10 years ago, we couldn't have this Zoom call, right? I mean, so to be able to have a meeting with all of our managers at the same time that are all over the country, that's huge. It's just being able to communicate so much better. I mean, yesterday we had a safety meeting at 2 o'clock that's led by our safety department. And to be able to have those meetings online, you know, that couldn't happen when we started this company.
Yeah.
You guys are you certainly a very niche business. What is your training process like when you're bringing managers on board?
Basically, everybody we hire that Brian and I hire for management roles start as basically an assistant superintendent, an assistant project superintendent. And we tell them, listen, you're going to grow through this company as fast as you take it up. Your growth is on you. You could be running a job in 3 or 6 months on your own, or you could be running a GPS unit for the next 4 years. It's all based on your drive and how willing you are to work and, prove that you can do it.
We make everybody go through OSHA 30 training as well. It's like pretty standard. we were like a little boutique renovation company that you see, right? And so as we've grown, we've had to build a lot more processes, and you're obviously managing risk everywhere. So you're, getting more serious about training, more serious about safety, more serious about, you know, every component of our business now has managers that are dedicated to overseeing it. It used to be Todd and our head mechanic just sorting out where every machine was going to go and did they oil it, did they grease it, did they do. But now we have a whole fleet department that focuses on that, and they're going to give all of our managers so much support. The safety program has been huge. We think that we're the best leaders in the clubhouse on that right now with our safety program. It's something that we really brag about when we go into bid meetings, or when we're meeting with potential clients, is showing them all the documentation that we produce, because obviously everybody needs to get home safe every day. It's a big deal. So we do daily training things every morning. Our guys, just like you would have on a golf course, right? Your kind of morning meeting. Ours are more oriented towards safety and making sure everybody understands what they're supposed to do and how they're supposed to have all their tools or equipment, and what the expectation is for the day. It's every morning. And then we do monthly safety trainings. We do, that's like a Teams call with everybody. And then we have people in the field that their whole job is to go from place to place to place and do safety inspections and trainings, and make sure everybody's got their PPE, make sure everybody's got their seat belts on, and the whole process. It's a lot, there's for sure. But it's important. And I think we've found the more we're investing in that, the better our teams are getting, the more professional they're looking. It's good.
Golf
Beautiful.
courses haven't always had the best culture of safety practices.
Oh, come on.
All over, right? Everywhere you go, you see it, and we've really started taking it very serious, and it makes a big difference, and it helps me and Brian and Rich sleep better at night, knowing how serious we're taking it.
Yeah, that's a really good point. With more technology and stuff like that, we got to make sure we're covering ourselves, because stuff can certainly happen. When the turf just looks happier? That's what we've been seeing since using Apex 10 from Green Nature. It's all about healthier soil, stronger roots, and turf that bounces back faster. And right now, they've got a buy two, get one free deal. Call that a steal at greennature.life. 100% worth checking out. All right. Well, we talked to a lot of different people from around the industry, and you guys have seen a lot of different stuff. I would love for you guys just to give us a couple minutes of your own opinion, just good advice for the young and up and comers in this industry.
I mean, work hard, right? You're only going to get as far or as much out of it as you put into it. All of us got to where we are today by working hard and being professional. I mean, that's the key to me, is work ethic and professionalism. And that's it. I mean, that would be my advice.
I think, to me, I would expand on that and just say, like, drop your expectations right from the start, right? And be willing to just go kind of explore the business and see where it takes you a little bit. I never thought that I was going to be I never thought I was going to be a general manager of a country club. That was for sure. And never thought that I was going to be a, executive with the construction company. I thought I was going to be a golf course superintendent my whole career. And I think that when you're young, I would tell everybody to go seek out a lot of different experiences. Come do an internship for us, go work some warm season grass, go work some cold season grass, go explore a bunch of different options and see what kind of interests you, right? I mean, because I think in order to give what you have to give to this business to be successful, you better find the part that you really love, right? Because if you don't, you're going to be miserable, because it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of grinding days, and the summers and the weekends, and it's a long road to get to the superintendent position if that's your goal. And so you better enjoy it along the way. And maybe there's a niche that's good for you. Maybe you're traditional, want to be superintendent. Maybe you're going to be a salesman. Maybe you're going to be, working for a construction company. But I think, I think it's just a matter of just find what you want. There's so many different avenues in this business. It's been good to all of us, obviously, right? And I think just keep an open mind, drop your expectations at the door.
Great advice. Good stuff. You never know where your path will end up and the people you're going to meet and the opportunities that are going to present itself. So really appreciate you guys coming on and sharing some inside scoop on your side of the business and fun experiences. So if there's anything else you guys want to add to the show, the floor is yours. If there's anything you guys want to throw on the table here.
No, I think I really enjoyed being with you guys and appreciate you having us on. Follow us on social media, Labar Golf, and consider coming to work for us if you want to. We're looking at expanding our internship programs. We're always hiring, looking for good people that want to come learn something about the construction business. So anybody out there is listening, don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this. I appreciate you guys having us on. Much easier for me to talk in a setting like that. I did an interview a couple weeks ago about Happy Gilmore, and it's like, all right, I'd much rather talk about our business and where we've been and what we've done, and this has really been enjoyable. Like Brian said, we're growing. We're always looking for good people to come work for us that are willing to work hard. We're starting a California office, so expansion is there. We're looking to start working. We've been working east to west. We're starting work towards the middle from the other side now. So really a lot of exciting things going on for us.
There's a lot of great opportunities there. You can travel around, get paid to work on golf courses, primarily when people aren't playing golf, visit different places, meet different people. If I was younger, not working, that would be a great, great opportunity. So I think there's some people listening to the show right now that you might be hearing from in the not too distant future.
I mean, I tell people it's great. We get to leave, we get to go somewhere else.
Yeah. I think our guys like that. Be somewhere for 6-8 months and then move on, go do something new again. That's for sure an advantage of it.
It keeps it fresh. It really does. And I think that's something our managers really like, is being able to spend some time with good people, but say, hey, see you at the GCSAA show.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and you guys get to work in some fantastic locations too.
No
so there's some opportunities to go explore and have some fun in the process. So it's awesome.
That's right. Yeah, our guys get to travel to some cool spots for sure. See some really good golf. There's no doubt.
Before we let you go, Todd, quick one. Favorite Tiger memory or moment?
Favorite Tiger, I mean, from meeting, I'm actually here on site at Trout National where we worked with him, but being able to spend the day with him, walking around the golf course and listening to him talk about shot values, you have Mike Trout there, and you got CC Sabathia and Justin Tuck and all these celebrities that want to be, members of this golf course, and Tiger's walking around talking about shot values, but all he wants to talk about is professional baseball and football, and all those guys want to talk about is golf. It's really, really cool to be a part of that.
Is it hard to keep them focused? Like, hey guys, we got a job to do. Let's go.
Tiger, come on.
I think that was a little bit more of a dog and pony show than anything, It's like,
oh my gosh.
try to attract members with Tiger and those guys trying to hang out with Tiger. It was a cool day for sure.
We can't thank you guys enough for doing this. We really appreciate it. It's going to be an awesome episode coming out next Tuesday. So thank you guys so much for the time.
Thanks.
Cheers, guys. Us. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Brian. Enjoy the rest of your vacation.
Yeah.
Will do. Later, guys.
All right, take care, boys.
Whoa, it went out at the same time. That was
double
impressive.
Laptop snap there. Wow.
How about that? Really
those
good.
Guys, I think those guys have done it before, eh? A couple Zoom meetings.
Yeah. Sounds like on a regular basis, huh? They've got to when they're tracking people from all over the country, and
it's a cool business to learn about. You see their stuff on social media. I've read a few articles, and you see the list of courses they've worked on, but when you actually get to hear about what they do and the traveling around and the fun they have and stuff like that, it's what a business. I was literally just sitting here thinking, like, there's going to be people calling these guys like, hey, I need a job, or I want to get the hell out of where I am.
Yeah, it is cool. I mean, yeah, like we talked about, they get to go to some of the greatest golf courses in the world, and they spend 6 months there, and they get to see it inside and out. They get to see it when no one else is there. They get to see the end result. it's a unique side of the industry for sure. And I think you guys nailed it. It's definitely it takes a special person to do that. Certainly
Hmm.
someone younger that can be away from family or may not have family yet, and have the ability, the flexibility to just pick up and move somewhere for however long. I mean, it's a grind. I mean, don't get
Hmm.
me wrong, it's a grind, but for someone that loves golf course architecture, that loves golf courses, that loves playing in the dirt, I mean, it is a really cool opportunity for someone that loves things like that.
It got me thinking, this might be a little wild, but do we get to a place in this industry where kids go to school more just focused on construction of golf course as opposed to, well, I'm going to go and become like a golf course superintendent? Or is it just aligned so well that you can kind of do either? I don't know. It's
Yeah, I mean, I
just a
think
thought.
there are so many aspects of that profession, of that business, where you need a little bit of a lot. I know a lot of people that have gotten into that world through landscape architecture,
Hmm.
or landscape management or something like that, where you learn to use a lot of those tools. But then there's obviously also the turf management side, where you need to understand the different grass varieties and climates and just different things that are going to be very niche to managing turf grass,
Hmm.
because they're ultimately the ones that are laying that stuff down, and they joke and say, hey, we just leave or whatever, but they got to make sure it's sustainable for the superintendent to maintain. There's a lot of knowledge that someone in that role needs, especially on the manager's side, that they're going to need to be really successful at what they do.
Yeah. And
And a
there's
lot of it's
more,
probably learned in the dirt too, right? I mean, that's
well, yeah,
that's another
have
one of
to.
those jobs where you're going to learn a lot in 6 months on your first project, or three
Yeah.
months or whatever it may be.
Just going out and working. And there's now what it's doing is it's creating a lot more awareness to this type of job. So it's somebody
Yeah,
younger might say, okay, I'm going to go to school, learn how to be a superintendent, although my end goal may be to be a construction superintendent. So maybe they have to go back and
yeah,
learn about the construction process or some of the construction equipment. Maybe they have to go work internships at places where they're doing stuff like this, work for Labar Golf
yeah,
or something like that. But it gives a bit more of a vision for somebody to say, okay, I'm not just going to be a superintendent. I want to be, maybe a step below an architect one day, but still be able to work on the golf course. Like,
yeah.
it's cool. It's creating more positions. It's creating more avenues for people.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're just, we talk about it all the time, and how this industry is changing and how technology is really making an impact. And when you go out into a construction site, there are so many different tools and so many different things that someone needs to learn. I mean, I see new things pretty much every time I visit a construction site.
Hmm.
It's always evolving. And, they were talking about GPS units and just the impact that the surveys and the scanning and things like that. It blows my mind every time I go out there and see the stuff they're capable of doing, and the new pieces of equipment they've got to learn how to use. It's incredible.
The digital platform makes me excited. I've always
Yeah.
always felt so bad for superintendents that take over a job and they're left with nothing. Maybe that
Yeah.
old map on the wall, and it's like, okay, I got to go find a valve. I got to go find a quick coupler. You can't figure it out unless you have somebody who knows the course, an old mechanic or an old assistant or
Yeah.
something like that. So to be able to take a job, say, here's your job, here's a digital platform of the course, go nuts.
Yep.
And now
Yep.
you know where everything is. You don't have to spend 2 years learning where everything is and finding
Yeah.
everything. So I think that's important. And that just goes along the same lines with how technology is taking over and making everything a little bit easier on us.
I mean, that's a huge benefit of these new irrigation systems and renovated irrigation systems. It's someone that's got a system that's, 25 to 50 or whatever, however old it is, they're not going to have that luxury of some of the new technology being able to give you precise locations. So, yeah, I mean, having these tools for these courses that are investing in the infrastructure, makes a superintendent's job, or an irrigation tech or whoever it may be, makes their jobs just so much easier.
Hmm. It
Yeah,
is
to
fun though,
an
grabbing.
extent, right? To an
Yeah, well,
extent.
I'm saying like it is fun taking three guys out going to look for one quick coupler for 2 hours.
Yeah. Right.
That creates culture.
Yes. In a hurry, right? In a
Holy
hurry.
smokes. Yeah. Well,
Love
buddy,
it.
it's been so nice having you back on the show. We got a good lineup of
Yeah.
people coming the next few weeks, so you know, really looking forward to where we're going with all this.
Yeah, it's hard to believe it's September's here. Fall
Yeah.
is here,
Yeah, school
It's
starts in a week or so. It's all.
oh man, my kids are already 2 weeks in right now.
Are they? Yeah, you guys
Yeah,
start
I
a little
guess not.
earlier
They're
down
in
there.
their second week right now. So
Okay.
yeah, no, it's college football starts
Mm-hmm.
for real this weekend. So Texas, Ohio State, you better believe
Oh, that's a
I'm
big
going to
one.
be watching.
That's a big one.
Yeah, it's a great way to start the season. One versus two or one
Yeah.
versus three, depending on which ranking you're looking at. So yeah, it's fall is here. It's been a tough summer for everybody. So hopefully everyone out there that's been dealing with another chaotic year, there's light at the end of the tunnel. Keep pushing forward. It's winding down. And even for the guys in the South, the cooler season. I know it's their peak season coming up, but it's not going to be 110 degrees and humid in a lot of those locations. So it's here, man.
Yeah, the
And
tide is
and I'm
changing.
ready for it. I'm ready for hoodie weather, man.
Yeah.
I am ready for it.
That's going to do it for another week. Thank you so much to Brian Chapin and Todd Saganiec. Awesome guys to have on here. It was so cool to hear those stories and get to talk a little bit of the Hollywood scene, which is cool. Huge one coming next week, next couple weeks, next few weeks. Oh my gosh, I'm looking at this lineup right now. There's some names on here. Very excited to get to talk to a lot of these people, and you should be excited to be able to plug in, work away, and have them in your ears. So, want to shout out our sponsors. You guys are unreal, and keep us in check all the time. All these people that work for these companies that sponsor us are professionals. It's so much fun getting to work in this community with the people that are boots on the ground, but all these people working for these companies and working on products and working on development, they are absolute professionals, and it is so cool to get to work for them. And their message to us is always that they love this as well. So it's grown through the community. It's bleeding into different parts of our industry, and it's something that should be shared everywhere. And it's because of the people that come on the show. I always say it. You don't come on here to hear me talk. You don't hear. Sometimes probably come on here to listen to Brian talk. He teaches me a lot too, but this is about the people, and we're very, very fortunate to have everybody on. This is a cool song to be leaving with. I hope it puts a smile on your face. We'll talk about it next week. All right? Have a good one, everybody. Oh, and keep those reels sharp.
I'm thinking about the way you're keeping score when I'm standing in the line at the grocery store. I'm thinking about getting fitted for clubs when I'm giving my wife a sensual back rub. Even when I'm at my kids' ballet, I'm thinking about betting on the PGA. Thinking if I keep hitting it pure, I might have a shot at making the Champions Tour. My mind is racing and pacing. I can't let anyone know. A never-ending invasion and addiction to the core. I'm thinking about why